you struggle with your mental health?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
I have, I think I've gotten a better hold of it now, but I definitely have.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to.
Yes.
Yes. TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. What may sound unfamiliar to some are constants in other people's lives, particularly young people. Whilst they may have been popular under the names of Facebook and MySpace in the past, social media has been around and a big part of young people's lives for around 20 years now.
How often do you use social media?
I'd say every day, pretty much. I would say I use it pretty much every day. It varies, but yeah, mostly every day.
Very often, every day.
Every day.
Per day?
Probably every day, multiple times.
Every day.
Yeah, every day.
I've probably gone about an hour a day put on YouTube and stuff.
A lot of times, sometimes too much.
Maybe an hour a day at most, just for... I only really use social media if I have to.
Recently I've been using it quite a lot.
Social media has been found to cause an increase in the mental health problems of young people. But why? This is the question that we will try to answer for you today. There are many aspects of social media that can be considered harmful, such as cyberbullying, misinformation being spread, and general confidence issues that arise. Should we really be subjecting our young people to this? What social media do you use?
It's Snapchat.
And Instagram.
Snapchat, Instagram, and
Snapchat, Instagram.
Mostly Instagram, Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Snapchat, Instagram.
Instagram and Snapchat.
I'm just really on Snapchat.
TikTok.
TikTok, probably TikTok.
TikTok I use a lot of.
on TikTok is a big one.
TikTok. TikTok.
Multiple studies have now shown that close to 20% of our teens are depressed, and TikTok may be one way to seek out freedom, even if it enrolls you unwittingly in an addictive trap. Social media is great. It's something we all use. It provides us with connections, information we wouldn't have known, and all in all, entertainment. Something we all need. It's hard to see how someone couldn't be addicted to this. However, this is where the problem begins.
Do you think that social media affects young people negatively?
Definitely, yeah.
I think so. If we're constantly on it, then it's gonna... Everyone's on it. You're in a world where everyone's always on it.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. It's very sad.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yes, definitely can.
I think it definitely can. I think it provides some kind of community, but that can be a bad thing when they're promoting kind of dangerous habits and stuff.
Definitely, yeah.
I think it can do. Probably, guys and girls, women with body positivity, stuff like that, image, and maybe guys where look at the wrong content, get the wrong idea about things,
Yeah, I think it affects a lot of people negatively.
In high school, maybe bullying.
Older kids.
Yeah.
It's very easy to access a lot of dangerous aspects of the internet. It's a lot easier to harass people, to bully people, because you don't need to show your face. You can just say whatever you want pretty much over online, and there's no backlash for you. And I think, especially with young people who might not know how to deal with things like that happening quite as much, it's quite a dangerous place.
I think that social media has a negative impact on people because it takes away from reality, and everything you see might not be real.
So I think for growing minds, being surrounded by social media can be bad because it's filled with negativity all the time. Even if there is positive videos, there's going to be negative videos, and there's no way to get rid of them. You don't know they're coming, so it can be quite damaging for young people to see a lot of stuff they might not be used to.
Yeah, I think social media can make an image that may seem really good, but most of the time it's not even
Is it unattainable?
like, yeah, it's not the same as real life.
Social media can be harmful because it encourages constant comparison and limits in-person communication, often leading to increased feelings of depression, anxiety, poor body image, and loneliness. TikTok's algorithm targets vulnerable teens and recommends harmful content to them, sometimes as rapidly as every 27 to 39 seconds.
In what way has social media affected you personally?
Like a bit more of like a lazy person, I would say. I don't know if that's more social media or just like phones in general, but it's definitely made it like I can like clean my room or I can sit on TikTok for like an hour.
I think especially when I was younger, it was very difficult to see all these people looking a certain way. If you didn't look that way, it caused a lot of like almost like self-hatred and judgment and stuff, and it was difficult to get past that.
There's been times where I've been stuck on my phone instead of doing what I've had to, and that's negatively affected me.
I used to like look at like celebrities and be like, oh my god, I want to be like that, you know? Just like.
But if social media is like a constant thing that I use every day and everyone around me is using every day, and there's so much negativity online, and I think we can feel pressure to know everything all the time because we have access to everything. Also, you always have access to that information and you can't turn it off.
Obviously, I've seen my friends posting pictures of them all together without me, and I can see them feel very quite left out, and I'm not like, well, I'm alone without them.
I think sometimes the content can be quite like misled, and like you can get bad information off of it.
Probably just a lot to do with like social anxiety, body image, things like that.
A survey conducted by the Royal Society for Public Health asked 14 to 24-year-olds in the UK how social media platforms impacted their health and well-being. The survey results found that Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram all led to increased feelings of depression, anxiety, poor body image and loneliness.
Would you say there's a link between an increase of mental health problems in young people and social media?
I don't know if there is a link. I don't know if there's enough, enough studies being done to indicate whether there is a link or not. But there's certainly indicators. I think that you only need to see the bullying and harassment claims that have come out over the years that show that there is undoubtedly the potential for harm to be caused by the use of social media or the negative use of it. Maybe COVID-19 had a huge impact on people because they were actually forced into a situation where they were stuck behind the screen. So the interactive communication that you would have on a daily basis was maybe limited by that constraint.
What do you think can be done to help students?
I think if we can get people into classrooms and get people talking and get people to interact on a regular basis and take them away from their screens and get them communicating directly, that will help.
Do you think that social media is entirely harmful?
I don't think social media is harmful in essence, but I think it can promote harmful activity.
One study from a non-profit group claimed TikTok may surface potentially harmful content related to suicide and eating disorders to teenagers within minutes of them creating an account. Do you think that social media is a big problem in this generation?
I think it's difficult because of how like addicting it is, and I think it's definitely affecting younger people's like attention spans, and it can be quite dangerous, I think, with some of the opinions that are being spread.
Sometimes it can be.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I think that it spreads a lot of negativity. Even though it does have some positive sides, it is a big problem, especially now.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about finding a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, especially like the influence it can have on, younger people, especially when their brains aren't fully developed. They're getting information from all these different sources, and they don't really know what to believe in.
I think there's definitely pros and cons because there can be very negative things. There can be cyberbullying and stuff like that. but I think there are a lot of positives as well as that. So
I don't know, just be careful with social media use, like know your limits, I don't know, keep your accounts on private.
I would just say to be careful and to be kind to yourself. I think it's really easy to get caught up in like wanting to do things to appear a certain way.
If there's any accounts that might be harmful to you or are upsetting, just block them, scroll past them, which I know is difficult.